Good evening. You're watching the Chucktown Wind Report. It is Sunday, January the 17th, about 7:45 p.m. Let's talk about your winds and weather for the next couple of days. As the patterns get ready to change, we're going to see a cold air mass dropping down from the northwest over the northern tier. Really get things cooled down Monday through Wednesday. So let's talk about what's going on the surface map first. Here we are with the low pressure that was affecting us today, and we're seeing some wraparound residual clouding and some northwesterly winds that actually became moderate to strong this afternoon, surged back up into the mid to upper 20s and near 30 knots in gusts. And those winds have since diminished significantly as this low pressure continues to head off to the northeast and exit the region with all of its counterparts. So the next thing up is overnight tonight we're going to see a dry cold front move through the region. Probably by the time we wake up, we may see a few clouds this early morning. We're not expecting any rain with it. But the question is going to be if it parks offshore and becomes a residual trough off the coastline, and with this high pressure driving this colder, drier air down into the country and into the southeast, we could see a gradient build along our coastline. So that's going to be the question, is where is that trough going to be sitting? Is it going to drive further out into the Atlantic, or will it hang up just off our coastline to get the gradient up? The models are downplaying this a little bit, but I do think that there's potential for the winds to come up 15 to 19 knots with surges into the 20s tomorrow, at least for a period during the early to mid-afternoon hours. So we're looking into west-northwesterly flow tomorrow, and then that's going to diminish as we go into Tuesday as high pressure pulses down into this area and brings a northerly flow, probably weaker, probably 9 to 13 knots or 10 to 14 knots, somewhere in that area. Not as strong, not quite as strong as what we've seen yesterday or today and into tomorrow. But as we get into Wednesday, that high pressure is going to be pretty much over our area, so we may see some variability in the winds, but things will start to warm up as we get into Thursday and the high pressure moves out into the Atlantic. So that's going to be our system pattern for the next couple of days. Let's take a look at GRU on radar, and here's our water vapor imagery. You can see all pretty much dry air up through the region. Here comes that cold front overnight. Not much precipitation expected with this at all as it comes across the Tennessee Valley, and as it gets near the coastline, it should dry out completely without any precipitation. Let's take a look at Datascope in Charleston. Winds have really calmed down a lot. We're looking at 6 knots. Fort Sumter front range lot, 6 knots with 7-knot gusts. You can see the wind graph from today. And the winds have really taken a dive downwards as that low pressure is exiting off to the northeast. We saw that one last surge this afternoon pulse up to near 30 knots, about 27, 28 knots in gusts between about 3:45 and about 4:30 this afternoon, and winds have really calmed down since. So we're expecting this pattern to continue tonight and into tomorrow morning upon approach of that dry cold front. Once that cold front moves through the area, the winds are going to crank up with that high pressure driving down from the north. Here's the model outlook for what's going on. Let me zoom in on this just a little bit, get a better idea. So for tomorrow, the models are, like I said, they're downplaying this for tomorrow. Even the HER high resolution rapid refresh in the red here has it ticking back up at 8 a.m. We'll see what happens tomorrow with this forecast. Most of the models are staying a little bit on the conservative side here. It's probably low to mid-teens, but I think that we could see mid to upper teens with this, and I'm going to go up on that, 15 to 19 knots with the surges to 20s again. And as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, the models are in agreement with that northerly flow coming around, sticking around 10 knots, and then slowly ebbing out by Wednesday with some variability and warming up into Thursday as well. So the numerical models, let's take a quick look at the temperatures for the area. Now, if we look at what's going on now, we see our temperatures are in the low 50s. If we go 24 hours out, for tomorrow's high temperatures, we're looking at probably mid 40s for our coastline. And then as we go in time, here's our low temperatures for Tuesday, for Monday morning into Tuesday, definitely below freezing. And as we get into Tuesday day, here's our high temperatures are only showing about 40 degrees, upper 30s to 40 degrees. So it's going to be really cold. Keep your jackets handy for Tuesday. And as we get into Wednesday, we see things sort of warm up a little bit. We get up into the 40s again, maybe mid to upper 40s, and then things warm up as we get into Thursday. So that's going to do it for the Chucktown Wind Report. Sea surface temperatures last I looked, they were about 58 to 59 degrees. Once this cold Arctic mass comes through, I'm expecting the sea surface temperatures to drop several degrees. We may get down into the 54, 55 degree range. So keep your wetsuits handy, and I'll be back in the next couple of days to do another update. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.